Hey guys, this is Dinosaur Drawer, and today I'm gonna show you how to draw the Suchomimus. And this drawing was actually requested by Piho Either. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's really hard to pronounce some names. And as you may notice, I actually hit 2000 subs just today. So I really want to thank all of you guys for everything that you've done, for everyone who has been there since the beginning, and I really appreciate all of you guys. I didn't even expect to hit like 100 subscribers, and now I'm already at 2000 subscribers, so that's quite a lot for me. And yeah, so I'm not gonna do a 2000 subscriber special because I want to leave that for the 5000 subscriber special, um, which I hope I will be able to get someday. And then I'll just do it at 5,000, 10,000, and then at 50,000, and then at 100,000. But that's way into the future. I don't expect myself to get that many subscribers. But I'm really glad that I actually made it this far, and I really wanna thank all of you guys. Alright, and it has been quite a while since I last uploaded, and yeah, it might actually be in the couple of coming weeks that I won't be able to upload a lot because I am moving to a different home again, and yeah, as you some of you guys may have already experienced it, you get really tired because of it, and you don't have a lot of time for things like drawing and stuff. So yeah, let's get into the video. Okay. Oh, and by the way, what you just saw, these were some sketches that I made, and this is actually the Suchomimus, and um, this is kind of the body structure that we're gonna try to draw, but it's gonna be a little bit different, and you can see my improvement on the face. So yeah, if you really wanna um, learn to draw something, just keep drawing it, and you will see improvement over time. Alright, I first have to get my reference ready. And by the way, I actually also noticed that my camera doesn't, well, it records in quite good quality, but the problem is sometimes it gets a little bit blurry. That's because my table isn't stable, and that wasn't intended, by the way, but um, my table moves when I'm drawing, and that makes the camera move, and it gets blurry sometimes. So I'm putting some weights on the table and stuff. Maybe I fixed it. We'll have to see. Now I have to move over my reference photo to a different position so I can see it a little bit better. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna basically start with the normal body. So we want to have his hip area over here. Then we want to have a rib cage like this, and this is a very elongated dinosaur. So this would be his rib cage, and then his shoulder muscle would be over here, just like this, and then his arm would be attached to that. Well, maybe a little bit more down like this, and then he has a kind of a hip over there, a hip structure over there, which might actually be a little bit angled like this, and then he has a very long tail with a kind of a bend on the end, And again, that wasn't intended. Alright. And then he has a very thin but long neck. It actually looks a lot like the Baryonyx, in my opinion. I do think it has a lot of resemblance from the Baryonyx itself, but it isn't actually the Baryonyx. I think it looked a lot like the Baryonyx, but it was a little bit bigger or smaller. I can't be sure about that, so I can't say for sure. Maybe you guys know if it was bigger or smaller than the actual Baryonyx, but it was definitely in the same family. And it was also a fish eater, just like the Baryonyx. So I want to have his knee right about over here, and then a very big and strong leg muscle over there. And he has his foot in a very strange shape. So it's gonna be kind of a pain to draw it in this particular way, but we will get it right. And then here is where his toes start. So we're just gonna draw the typical toes that I normally draw. That's 1, 2, and a claw right there, and then 1, 2, and a claw right there. So this is gonna be his one of his feet. Just like this. And his knee would be about over there. Okay. And then his leg, the other leg would be kind of going like this, because he is running, and it would be drawn like this, and his muscles would be much more stretched out and everything. And don't press down too hard on your pencil, I'm just sketching. So try to locate the same kind of area and draw a circle at the ankle area, so you can draw the rest of his foot from that area and attach it to everything else. 1, 2, claw, and then from over here, 1, 2, and a claw. Alright. So that's the basics of his legs. Now we need to make sure that his fingers are right over here, and that's gonna be quite a hard thing to do, but again we will try to get it right. So first his arm, his elbow over there, and then his arm would be about this long, and here would be the connection for all the fingers. And then the other one would be, and by the way this should be a little bit thinner. He is very thin but still very muscular arms. And then the other one would be about over here. You can kind of see the elbow over there, and then the connection to his fingers would be over there, just about the same. It would be just as big as this one. It might actually be a little bit smaller. 1, 2, and then 3 claw. Alright, so he has 3 claws right now. I'm not gonna go into too much detail over there because I still need to draw in his head, and his head would be very long. That's actually the reason why I started way over on this side of the paper instead of just in the middle, because he has a very long head. Alright, so let's start with the top of his neck over here, and then over here would be the area for his head to actually start. So let's just draw in the length of which we want his head to be, and then his bottom jaw would be over there. His head would be about this long, I guess. And I'm making his upper part of his head just a little bit too big, I guess. Because I really don't have any idea. Alright, I have to get a better reference photo for his head, because the photo that I have now has his head from the front view, so I need some kind of other reference. So I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back, and I actually did found a better reference photo, and he has a very long, his snout would be about the length from about over here till over there. So that's this long, very long and thin snout. And I'm just gonna draw it like this first, because later I will be getting a little bit more detail in it and make the shapes a little bit better. But just for now, I'm just gonna draw it this way, so that I have a basic thing to go with. Alright, so from over here you go like this, and then basically over here you have a bump that goes like this, and then it goes like this. It goes back like this. Alright, so that's his lower jaw. Now we still need to do his upper jaw, and he also has a iris. He has something like a eyebrow over there, and underneath that would be his eye about over here. Maybe just a little bit further to the front like this, and then this kind of goes like this. He has a bump over here, just a small one. Very strange head he has, I must say. And then it goes like this, and then he has a bump over there, and then this basically just goes back to the rest of his jaw. Yeah, so this is basically the way that I was about to say baryonyx, but it's actually a Suchomimus. Wait. Alright, I'm back. And I want to make like a water sack over there. So it's kind of like what pelicans have. They also have something like a water sack over here with which they can catch fish, I guess. I am not sure about that, but I think they do catch fish with it. Alright, now we still need to go to his little fingers. So I'm quickly getting my reference ready again, so I can know which finger would be the longest compared to each other. So basically we have one finger over here, which is, this is the smallest one. Let's say this is his pinky finger with a small nail, because it's kind of pointing inwards, you can't really see too much of it. So this is the smallest one. And then we have a slightly bigger one. And same story again, can't really see the claw because it's literally pointing inwards. And then over here we have the third one, which is the biggest one. And I'm gonna make this one a little bit more like this, more pointing inwards, I mean downwards. 1, 2, and then this huge claw. Alright, and now I have to do the same kind of thing, but kind of a little bit in reverse, which is tricky because I'm not as advanced as you might think, so it will be hard for me. But what I'm basically gonna do, I'm gonna kind of try to do the same thing with the bones in his finger, but instead of drawing lines, I'm gonna draw circles. So 1, 2, and then a very big claw over there, and then over here a little bit of a smaller one. 1, 2, and also a very big claw. And then for this one, well, you can't really see too much of it. 1, 2, and a claw, but you can't see the claw. And we could of course draw in the kind of indications for his hand. So this would be completely his hand, and I'll just have to do with this. Alright, so now we are at the point where we can make everything that we did a little bit darker, so that it's a little bit better to see for you guys. So I'll quickly do that and I'll be back. Okay, and I'm back. So we aren't done yet. We still have to do some tiny little details. We still have to get in his teeth. So be ready to get into the really small stuff. This is probably going to be the hardest to get right in the whole drawing. Alright, so it starts over here, it starts about over here, very small teeth, and then they get slightly bigger, and they are kind of angled inwards. and it kind of goes like that. And on his upper jaw it goes kind of the same. It starts about over here, and they are again angled inwards quite a bit, and they are also very narrow, long teeth, and he has quite a lot of them. And I would expect him to have not I would not expect him to have perfect teeth, but I drew it in anyways, so it's a little bit easier for you guys to get it right. So now his nostril is about right over here, I would say. And we want to make it look a little bit cooler, so you want to have a little bit of shadow around his eye, which is, I'm gonna make his eye a little bit smaller, and I'm gonna create a little bit of shadow around this area. And I might have made his jaws a little bit too long, but I think it looks about right this way, so I'm gonna keep it this way anyways. We want to have a little bit of shadow going on around his eye and on his skull. And let's say his ear would be about over here, and make a little bit of shadow around that as well. Alright, so I would say that we are about done with the first part of this video. In the next part I will be going into a lot more detail, and I will kind of finish it up in the next part, unless it takes me too long and I actually have to make a third part. But lately that isn't really the problem anymore for me, so let's hope we keep this in 2 parts. So if you liked the video, leave a like, comment below what you think about the drawing and the video in general, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss a single video. Alright, so this was Dinosaur Drawer, and goodbye.